Plums, I think if there was one little part of the squad where you might think, well, that's interesting, is actually our lack of real tall timber. I think the locks that you've picked are really dynamic, but up against some of the Northern Hemisphere side, I mean, is that a worry, or are you just going to have to change the way we do things at line-out?
Yeah, well, a bit of both to that, I guess. We've got some pretty smart ball winners in this country. If you look at Patrick Tuipulotu, Sam Whitelock, and then a couple of younger guys underneath them, they'll learn a lot under the two experienced guys, and then obviously next year will change a little bit with Scotty Barrett coming back, Brad Retallick coming back as well. But it's a really good opportunity for us to develop a couple of younger locks that potentially could be here playing the World Cup in 23, and we've got 5 or 6 in this country that are on the brink of breaking into international rugby, and we see Quinton Strange and Tupavai an opportunity to grow them. And we'll see how they go.
Plums, you talk about breaking back in. A guy that's broken back in after being initially selected, Akira Ioane. In those meetings that you've had with him, man, he's had a great season this year. How do you make sure this guy stays on that path? I've just loved seeing Akira play so well for the Blues this year. The conversation I had with him a couple of weeks ago before we assembled with the North Side was, what's been your turnaround, and he's comfortable in his own skin now. He's a better professional off the field. He's worked real hard around his conditioning with the Blues. He's seen the Blues succeed, and he's clearly wanted to be a part of that. And so when he got his opportunity with the Blues, he nailed it. And of course, then he just needed to play consistently well, and he did that. So came down, hadn't played for a number of weeks because of what Auckland were going through, and then he had another big game in the weekend, I thought. So, that guy's clearly really ready for international rugby. He's no stranger to playing in the black jersey, or whether it's for, I think he had a game for the All Blacks, for the Māoris as well, so, and the Sevens as well. So, so he's groomed, and he's got sorted a few things out, and he's ready to go.
Plums, I know when you were coaching the Hurricanes that you saw the potential in him, and we're starting to see that now. What do you see in terms of his ceiling, in terms of Hoskins Sotutu, and the fact that how quickly he seems to advance to the point he is, and what impact and what opportunity do you think he's going to get in the All Black jersey? Is it going to come sooner rather than later?
Oh, absolutely, it'll come sooner. Hoskins, I couldn't believe his growth in a short period of time. Playing for Auckland, and then I think he came off the bench for Auckland last year, and now he's keeping a guy like Kira out, and then playing again consistently well. His power game around back of the scrum, his ability to be able to win ball at the front of the line out. He's a real quick jumper. He's got beautiful skills. You see him often taking one-handed catches. And then, of course, he works pretty hard around the field as well, in terms of his tackling, and he's busy, he's dynamic on the edge, but he can also play up the middle of the park as well. So he's just going to get better, as he gets more confident. But what I was really impressed about when he came with the North team was just how comfortable he was around, senior players, and he's a pretty shy guy, and that's fine. But put him on the pitch, and he was away.
Plums, we lost the last World Cup, and experience, we know, wins World Cup. So how much risk do you take to get some of these young guys out there? Because you can't be asking these questions of Akita or Hoskins or Hodgman, in 18 months' time when you're 12 months out from a World Cup. So have you spoken about possibly taking some risks? I know we want to win every cup possible, but I'd rather have the World Cup.
Yeah. Obviously, we've had a few blokes and leaders as well drop out of the All Blacks after the World Cup, and they need to be replaced. And, generally they're replaced by younger talent and guys that have taken their opportunity. And if you see how tough Super Rugby Aotearoa was, consistently these boys that have been selected have been playing really well in that competition, which is really tough and physical. And every week the boys had to front up, and and these boys that have been selected have done that. So I think by the time the World Cup comes around, I think we're going to have some pretty hardened players that will just get better and better.